Welcome back. You're watching Ayubowan Sri Lanka and we are with Ambassador Hemantha Warnakulasuriya, Ambassador of Sri Lanka to Italy. Yes, Ambassador, so we were speaking about the unraveling of the events during and after the elections and also the influence on the international community and how, and especially the Western media and etc. So my question to you is now, what should we do with respect to this coverage of the Western media and the interference of the West? And also I want to ask you, especially because always we speak about things the government can do as citizens, responsible citizens of the country. What can we do and what can the people living abroad and also the Sri Lankan Tamils in Sri Lanka and outside do, because this is a continuous coverage, isn't it?
I believe this election results has clearly pronounced the verdict that there are certain sections, forget about the Tamils, Sri Lankans who are living in the cities who have become completely oblivious to the true needs of the nation. They live in a world of their own, thinking of their business, not thinking of your country, not thinking of the liberation of this country, not thinking of the death and demise of terrorism, and they all only think of how many rupees that they can make in the shortest possible time. So therefore, it is, I believe they will have to now change their attitude. They must say, they must know. The election results clearly shows that for another 15-20 years, these people, unless they change their attitude, especially the party they represent, the United National Party, which is called the Grand Old Party, which brought our independence, gave us the free education, and was one of the great parties of this country, has been driven by the present leadership into a abyss of no return. So it is my contention, Deepamala, that the people must try to dissociate themselves with this leadership which is not do not understand the difficulties, the problems of the border villages, the difficulties and problems of the villages. Deepamala, you must understand, if the army has 200,000 people, the soldiers, every one of them, most of them came from the villages. So they don't want to see a coffin being brought to their city, and they don't want again the people who are espousing the cause of terrorism, the people who have been the spokesman for the Tigers, be given power. Now they must rally around this government, and they have a duty by this country to help this government and then develop this economy. I believe economic emancipation will give a certain relief to most of them. Now, how did the IMF, which is again another institution of the World Bank, said that we are now progressed from a developing country to a middle income group. Now, what are the statistics? These statistics are not sort of manufactured by the IMF. And India, which is a very huge economy, is still in the other category. So therefore, there is possibility, there is stability. The businessmen and the other ethnic groups must know, for development, what is sine qua non is a stable government. Now they talk of Singapore. Singapore, the human rights are one of the states which rights of the human beings are violated with impunity. No one ever talks about that, because there is economic development. And how did the economic development come? But
it's not a good situation where human rights are not
but I'm trying to say, I'm not saying that it's an example, but if you really know what's happening in Singapore, Singapore has got the infamous internal security laws, in which the minister could mandate a person to be remanded, incarcerated for number of years. In fact, the former opposition leader, person who fought the election, Lee Kuan Yew, came out of jail after 30 years, about few years ago. But in the same time, they were able to, because of the stability, they came and invested in that country. Look at Malaysia. They Sarath Fonseca quoted Malaysia. What are the reason? Reason was there was stability. When the people come with money, then there development. So the Sri Lanka, especially the Tamil diaspora, has an important role to play. If they think of an elusive dream of having another separate state or trying to destabilize this country, these people of this country will never permit. But instead of which, if they do come to Sri Lanka and try to get involved with the government of Sri Lanka and try to alleviate the suffering of the IDPs and other people in the north and east, I believe they have the potential, instead of spending money to kill people, so spending money to groom another terrorist group, instead of having 17 ships smuggling narcotics to the entire region and doing various illegal things, amassing wealth, that wealth can be brought into this country, and we can have a state where every single Tamil would be smiling with us and will be joining hands and will think that the past is forgotten. There's another fresh future in this country.
So that means they need to understand that it is now a mandate has been given to one country and relinquish any dreams of separatism or any aspect like that. But then the manipulated international communities interfere.
The international community also will realize this. Now, for instance, Deepamala, in the month of March, we have got tremendous large number of tourists traveling to Sri Lanka in the month of March. I believe if you take the tourist forecast, we don't have sufficient number of rooms in Sri Lanka to accommodate all these people. So there is potential. Now, if this continues, if there's stability, this continues, these people can come and invest in hotels. In fact, one of the biggest financiers who is now in jail in the US invested in a stock market. Stock market started booming and it became the most lucrative stock market in the world. So the people who think that they live in isolation, irrespective of any government, they think that they have no future. The absolute, I think it should be rejected, because the Sri Lanka Freedom Party no longer believes in a closed economy. During the time of the SLP, during the time of Mr. Bandaranaike, there was a different concept. Now we are moving ahead with the world. Of course, we will not agree to privatize national enterprise, but then there is a lot of potential. So I believe we appeal to the Tamil people of this country. You are our brothers and sisters. My best friends are Tamils. I have got Tamil friends who are known to me from my college days at Royal. Up to now, they are my friends, and they are decent people. But only thing, they have got the wrong information. They read the wrong information, and they have certain amount of hatred that is going on. I will tell you, but instead of which, in a number of countries, the Tamils have realized their folly, and they will help this country, and ultimately this country will be one of the most important economies not in South Asia, in Asia.
Ambassador, that was an encouraging note, and the message is to the people living in Sri Lanka from all ethnic communities to understand the mandate is given for one country, and it is up to us to now work for stability and economic development, and also from the diaspora to bring all the resources here so that it will not harness another terrorist organization, and the resources will not go into creating brutal setups that sort of